When I was little, not that little, I was really into collecting Pokemon cards. Every time we went out, I'd ask my mom to buy me more cards, and she'd say, "For the 4th time, I'm not your mom, I just work here." I somehow managed to profit from my collection, and that was the point in life where I realized just how versatile money is. Confucius once said that the 3 fundamentals to an ideal life are clout, bitches, and the bag. In real life, I am cloutless, bitchless, and $40,000 in debt. So naturally, the next best thing would be to achieve those things in Skyblock. Now, I need a lot of money in Skyblock because it's the most important resource to level up in the game, and I'm currently in a race with my own viewers. Right now, I'm Skyblock level 329, and if I can hit level 360, I'll win. However, if my viewers get me to 30,000 subscribers before that, I'll lose the race and will have to do a bunch of dares submitted on my Discord server. Now, I really don't want to do those dares, so I need a lot of coins to level up and win the race. That's why in this video, I'll be testing some of the best money-making methods in Skyblock. Some of these are iconic and incredibly well known, while others, not so much. All of the methods in this video were actually tested for a full hour by me and a few of my friends. But before we get into that, let's take a look at today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Honkai Star Rail, a free-to-play galactic fantasy RPG available on PC, mobile, and PS5. From the makers of Genshin Impact, Honkai boasts more than 20 charming characters and an intuitive turn-based combat system. With a semi-open world experience filled with puzzles, treasure, and stories to uncover, Honkai has an endless amount of content for any type of player. The storyline and its various secrets continue to unfold in the 1.4 update, which introduces Jing Liu, who excels at DPS, and the duo Topaz and Nummy, with their superior single-target damage. Both new limited-time 5-star heroes that can be drawn now with 10 free Star Rail special passes that can be claimed just for logging in for 7 days. Use the link and redemption code to download the game and redeem 50 free Stellar Jade. Thanks again to Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring today's video. So I want to open up this video with methods that are more accessible to a majority of players and then get into the more endgame content later. This first method will take us into the Rift, and all you need for it is a self-recursive pickaxe and have the living cave area unlocked to make almost 25 million coins an hour. In the living cave are creatures called living metal snakes that crawl all around the cave. Only mining a snake with your pickaxe will grant 1 living metal heart, but to mine the snake, it first needs to be stunned using the frozen water pungi. Pungi. Pronounced pungi. Fun fact time, a pungi is an Indian folk music instrument that is primarily played by snake charmers. That's right, Skyblock items are historically accurate. You can do this solo, but I would highly recommend doing it with a friend for max efficiency, having one player stun it while the other player mines it. The great thing about this is both players get loot from the snake, so there is literally no reason to do this alone unless you have like no friends or something. The money from this method comes from crafting 32 of those living hearts into the Bluetooth ring, a rare talisman that can be transferred outside of the Rift and sold. From our 1 hour of testing this method, Nez and I both obtained 204 living hearts, the equivalent of about 6.4 Bluetooth rings. At current auction house prices, that is almost 25 million coins. This next method might surprise you, because Nez and I made an average of 60 million coins during our testing, and all we needed was a teleportation item like an AOTE or AOTV and farming level 5. It's a little complicated though, so let me explain how it works. In the Mushroom Desert is an NPC called Trevor the Trapper, who assigns you tasks to hunt down certain animals. These animals grant pelts, which are primarily used to purchase tier 12 farming minions, but we don't care about that. When the Mayor Finnegan is in office with his Peltpocalypse perk, a limited time shop opens near Trevor, where you can use pelts to buy various other items. The focus of this video is the Travel Scroll to the Trapper, which can be purchased for 100 pelts. This can then be sold on the auction house. I want to make it clear that you can grind pelts whenever you want, you just can't use those pelts to buy the Travel Scroll, unless Finnegan has his Peltpocalypse perk. Nez and I tested pelt farming while Finnegan was in office with his pelt perk. In an hour, I acquired 1,159 pelts, while Nez got 1,626 pelts. Nez was using the Sky Hanny mod, which he claims is a big reason why he got a lot more pelts than me, since Sky Hanny has a feature that tells you exactly where the mob you're hunting is. If we sold on that same day, we'd only be able to sell each scroll for 2 million coins. Instead, Nez and I waited 1 week, since at the time of this video, each scroll sells for 4.7 million coins. At those prices, I made 54.5 million coins in that hour, while Nez made 76.6 million coins, for an average value of 65.6 million coins an hour. One thing to keep in mind though is that the scrolls took forever to sell, and they are very vulnerable to competition since the demand for the scrolls are not that high, but it's a chill way to make some money on the side. I highly recommend getting yourself a pelt belt, which grants 1 extra pelt for every animal you hunt. Having the travel scroll for the trapper yourself helps as well, since you can bind the warp to trapper command to a hotkey using skytails and quickly teleport back when needed. If you want to make a lot of money from this method, I'd advise you grind pelts as much as you can, and then once Finnegan is in office, you can cash in all of your pelts for the travel scrolls and try to sell them when prices peak. This next method has been iconic and very popular since the introduction of floor 7, and that's frag running. The way frag running works is simple. You enter a floor 7 by yourself, rush to the blood room, kill the giant, and repeat. There are 4 different giants that can spawn, each with a 50% chance to drop its unique precursor relic or frag, which are used to craft wither armor and wither blade variants. Now this method's profitability will depend very much on your RNG and speed in which you run. You can see from our individual values that we all made different profits in the same hour, even though all 3 of us ran at similar speeds. The profits for this method averaged out to about 23.3 million coins an hour. Pretty decent for a method with a relatively low cost to entry. It's also a great way to improve your room clearing skills. Ghosts have been a classic money-making method for over 2 years, and have also changed over time, from using a soul whip and swapping to an emerald blade to just one-shotting them with ease. Ghosts drop an item called Sorrow, which can be used to craft Sorrow armor. The probability of obtaining a Sorrow from a ghost relies on a player's magic find. Another source of money from this method is pet leveling. Ghosts give a lot of combat XP when killed, so you can make some money on the side by leveling up combat pets. During our 1-hour test, I used a full set of Godroll Crimson armor with magic find and veteran attributes, along with a Chimera Daedalus axe. This, along with my equipment and ghost bestiary, allowed me to achieve over 350 magic find. He used a similar setup, but he had significantly higher ghost bestiary than me, so he ran this test with 395 magic find. By the end of the test, I had dropped 29 Sorrow. I also gained 3.6 million coins with the Scavenger enchant and roughly 2 Golden Dragon levels. Altogether, I made about 28.3 million coins an hour. Nez dropped 48 Sorrow, with about 4 million coins in Scavenger and 2 Golden Dragon levels, for a total of about 39.2 million coins an hour. This averaged out to about 33.7 million coins an hour. You have to keep in mind that this rate will vary heavily on your own magic find and combat wisdom. The more you have of both stats, the more money you'll make on average. Master Mode 4 is one of my favorite things to do in Skyblock, which is probably evident throughout the 1,800 times I've played this floor. It's also one of the more consistently profitable dungeon floors. While floors like floor 7 and floor 6 have incredibly rare big ticket type items that rarely drop, making it nearly impossible to accurately test profits in a video like this, Master Mode 4 holds the second Master Star, an item with a 4.2% drop chance in an S+ run. That is before considering the RNG meter and Kismet feathers. This item's price has been all over the place, but have settled recently at about 21 to 25 million coins each. With a cost of 6 million from the chest, this item is currently about 19 million coins profit during the making of this video. Keep in mind that to run this floor effectively, you'll likely need a high kata level mage who can deal 180 million damage or more in a single mage beam to spirit bears. This will allow them to one-tap bears and will cut the boss time in half. I do have a guide on this floor on my channel if you're interested in more details. I gathered a party of my friends, and averaging 2.5 minutes per run, we were able to complete 22 M4 runs in the span of an hour. Please remember that profits will vary heavily depending on the speed of your runs and RNG, which is pretty evident when we break down how much each of us made. All of the profits on screen are calculated after chest costs and Kismet feathers, and averaged to about 54 million coins an hour. But Solar and Nez achieved higher than average luck, and considering them as outliers, we get an average of about 34.3 million coins an hour, which is probably more accurate. Kudra is going to be our final money-making method today, and also one of the most difficult to get into because we'll be focusing on Tier 5. Tier 5 will ideally require players to own a Hyperion, 2 Terminators, and good sets of both Aurora and Terra armor to run effectively. Players will also need at least 12,000 reputation in their respective factions to even enter this tier. So you need to commit a lot of time and billions of coins before you can even start considering Kudra. But this will also be the greatest money-making method in this video. Like dungeons, profits from Kudra will vary depending on run speed and RNG. The great thing about Kudra is that no matter the tier, you always have a chance to drop Godroll armor pieces, or armor pieces with the best pair of attributes. These pieces can go for hundreds of millions of coins on the auction house, and can be found in any tier of the boss as long as you're able to drop those attributes. If you're interested in running Kudra, I have a fully fledged guide on my channel for you to reference. I performed this test in a party with 2 of my friends and a party finder random. We were able to complete 25 tier 5 Kudras in that hour, averaging around 2.5 minutes per run including downtime. All the profits calculated on screen are after the cost of each key. While testing the 6 methods showcased in this video, I made a total of about 291 million coins, averaging 48.5 million coins an hour, which is not too shabby. Maybe money is a fundamental part of life. And yeah, money can buy you a lot of things that can make you happy. But some of life's greatest gifts just can't be bought.